Hello guys, welcome back to this channel. Today, I'm going to rank all, or do a tier list for all of the Cobra Kai main characters throughout the show. I'm a bit tired today, but I wanted to make this video, and not much to say, but Cobra Kai Seasons Rec took me forever because I had a lot going on at the time, so yeah. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so before we get started, I just want to know one thing. For some reason, Mr. Miyagi's on here. It doesn't make any sense. And then Carmen's not on here, which is odd. At least I don't think she is. So I guess the only option is pretend this is Carmen. I don't know how to swap it out. I don't know how to make this tier list, but yeah. All right, Terry Silver it is. Yeah, you know where he's going. Best of the best. Yeah, great character. I love this guy right from the start. Since he got in the show, season 4 was one of my favorite seasons, and he was great in that season. He is just as good, if not better, in this season. And even from the Karate Kid Part 3, he was my favorite villain even in that movie. He was my favorite part of Karate Kid Part 3. He's probably my favorite part of Cobra Kai Season 5. And overall, I just love what they're able to do with this character. He's very maniacal, very just fun, amazing fighter. And I think he's just a bit more of an interesting character than Crease. And I think he's just more fun. So, therefore, best of the best. And they've just done a lot with him. They give him a lot of screen time, so that gives enough time to develop him. He's smart. He knows how to maneuver people, I guess. So, overall, great character. And Carmen Diaz, well, if it's Mr. Miyagi, it would be up in the best of the best. But specifically for Carmen Diaz, so don't be confused. I don't know what else to do. So, I guess C's here. It would go right in the middle, probably, but, let's just say, so overall, I think that she's just always been kind of the worried mother, but I think she works to sort of improve other characters like Johnny, try to be the love interest for Johnny. I think that's what works. I'll go with the D tier, but she's never going to be one of the best characters because she's always just the worried mother for Miguel, and she serves her purpose in the show, but her purpose isn't the most interesting, so yeah. But Mr. Miyagi would have been up in the best, or probably the A tier, but if it's just the Carmen character, why am I doing this? It would be the D tier. She's not the most interesting character. She never will be, I bet. But overall, I think they haven't really done anything wrong with her. That's why it's not in this bottom tier. But overall, not what I would call the best character. But top of the D tier for sure. So, yeah. It's weird to put an image of Mr. Miyagi there. So, yeah. Next one is going to be Hawk. Hawk has had the most he's been the guy that gets bullied, he turned into the bully, and then he got on the good side, he got bullied again with this, well, not really bullied, but he got his hair cut off, and then he's at a different state. I don't think he's S tier because of how much they've sort of, done so much with him, and the redemption arc at the end of Season 3 wasn't handled very well. I like that was there. But I think for him, how he kind of realizes that Cobra Kai is not good, and how he finds his confidence throughout Season 1. I just think this character is just great. They've done a lot of great stuff with him. I think the more the show goes on, the more and more I like him. Problem is, he just wasn't really in Season 5. I feel like he was always supposed to be one of the main characters throughout the first 4 seasons. And then Season 5, I feel like it just feels like they had nothing to do with him. Same with Dimitri. A lot of the high school characters, except Robbie, Tori, Sam, and Miguel, really none of them had much screen time at all. So, I still really like this character. Again, A tier. But very close to the B tier, I'd say. But still, I do like this character. Now I have Aisha Robinson. As much as I kind of want to put her higher based on just the first 2 seasons, she left the show, so like her arc just feels kind of incomplete. It's because I bet they just didn't have anything to do with her after Season 2. So like, I mean, she was a good character in the show. I think she was an example of the positive aspects of what Johnny was teaching compared to characters like Hawk compared to characters like Hawk who got the negative impact of it. She got more of the positive, and she was a character that got bullied probably more than anybody, even more so than characters like Eli/Hawk or Dimitri. So like, I thought she was handled, I think, pretty well throughout the first 2 seasons, but her arc wasn't completed because they cut it off because she left the show. So it's just a little frustrating because there's just nothing. There's just after season 2, there's just nothing there. I mean, I like the whole bits in season 4 where she comes back a little bit for that in episode 6 to teach where Sam gets to hang out with her for like a little while. But I think that was handled pretty well. But overall, because it's just because they cut her off, I think kind of ruins the character. But I do think she's a little bit better than Carmen. Then you have Sam. Sam, I think 8's here because she's kind of an example of the kind of more of the voice of reason on the show, specifically in the later seasons. In the earlier seasons, I didn't care for her as much because she was just such a reactive character. And then, but after season 4, where there's some new dynamics thrown in, like specifically her liking to be taught by Johnny, and I think those aspects actually really work for both Johnny and her. So, but like I think they've handled her pretty well throughout the show. But like the only real issue is that like specifically is that she's kind of in the center of all the love triangles, and especially in seasons 2 and 3, it can be a little frustrating at times. So that's kind of what just brings her character down. But I like the new dynamics that they had with her in season 4. And then the problem is season 5, they just kind of do repeat the same things over and over again with her. But overall, she's always been a character that I think has been pretty good in the show. So yeah, I think 8, bottom of the 8 tier is pretty good. Now you've definitely, she started in season 4 as one of the people that Johnny kind of mostly favored because she watches all these 80s movies that Johnny likes, and I thought the moment when she came on the show was hilarious. So yeah, overall, I think this character was handled pretty well for the most part. They didn't really do anything wrong with her. I thought they handled this character well, even in season 5, where she was a character that you weren't really expecting them to bring back. I thought that you were going to be done with her, but nope. They brought her back to join Cobra Kai, and then sort of become the conflicted side, sort of with Tori. And I thought that side of everything was handled, I'd say, very well. That was some of the better stuff of season 5. And it was in the second half of the season, which is the best part of season 5. So, yeah, I thought that was handled pretty well. The only reason why she's in higher, because her arc is not finished yet, so I bet they'll do more with her in season 6. Now we have Bert, character that I'd say is kind of fun throughout the first bunch of seasons. He got a bit more screen time throughout the seasons 4 and 5, and I think as like the smaller character, I think he's kind of fun. His relationship with Stingray, I think, is kind of funny. But overall, again, not a lot like some of these other characters that switch from Cobra Kai to Miyagi-Do throughout season 3. Not going to be the best characters. Now we have Dimitri. This is a character I absolutely hated from the first season, as probably most of the second season. But then at the end of season 2, like within the last few episodes, or maybe like just the last 2, I'd say he got way better as a character. When he threw Hawk into the glass with the trophies, I think then it's like a little satisfying. And then season 3, you actually start to really like the character where he is kind of taking leadership. You're like, yeah, nice speech. So I think this character I just liked way more as time is going on. And now they make him kind of now he got the girl that he's wanted forever. And I think they've just sort of made this character better over time. They start with the character that's really annoying, and then progressive to be pretty cool, one of the better Miyagi-Do fighters. And then that kind of turns him into just I think it starts with him annoying. Now he's kind of on the more quirkier side. So, yeah, I like this character. Almost son. Yeah. Now we have Kyler again, D tier. The thing is that they just haven't had the chance to really do anything with this character. He hasn't had an arc. He's always just been the typical bully, and he serves his purpose on the show. Nothing really wrong with that, but it's just not gonna ever like wow me or do anything like that. So he's always gonna be D tier. Now you have Daniel Larusso. I'm still gonna put him best of the best because he's one of the main characters in the show, obviously, and they've shown him like a kind of a different side because I think the show is kind of built on the premises. What if Johnny was the sort of good guy in all these? At least the first 2 seasons were kind of built on that, and then I think at the center of that was I think the Daniel Larusso character, because this kind of shows that he's never been the best person out there. He's always been sort of like made some bad choices throughout the show, and I think as Amanda Larusso's character is kind of there to sort of help him throughout it. I think that's handled very well. And not really any problems with it, but my only issue with him is that this is kind of what made me on the fence of keeping him the best here. Throughout season 5, he just makes a lot of dumb choices just because. And he's doing what he said he wouldn't do at the end of, in season 4. He said in season 4, you do not strike first with this guy, and that's practically what he's doing. Or maybe Johnny taught him the wrong things, who knows. But still, it kind of just worsens the characters who's making all these dumb choices throughout episode 3, 4, and 5. And so it just kind of hurts the character a bit because it just a lot of the stuff just doesn't make much sense. I'm just gonna be honest. So yeah. Never gonna be a great character. Is this the evil? So yeah, we have evil Sensei from Cobra Kai season 5. I'm debating between C and D. I'm gonna go top of the D tier probably. The thing with this character is nothing really wrong with her, but like the thing is that she's never gonna be one of the best characters because they kind of play her as just like an evil psychopath villain, as she's kind of making Tori punch the cement, concrete, and make her break. She's just kind of like evil and maniacal, maybe too, and it's a bit much for the show, but whatever. She's an alright character, and this is the reason why. This character is the reason why this tier exists. Anthony Larusso. Okay, this character is interesting because on one hand, I kind of like what they were trying to do with him in season 5, but he's never gonna be one of the best characters. Season 1 and 2, he was just this brat, this spoiled brat that just wouldn't get off his devices or whatever, and all these kind of characters in movies are just kind of annoying us. And I think he's what makes kind of Amanda and Daniel worse, where it's like where Daniel's telling him to get off his switch or whatever, and then he's like, nope. And then he says, Alexa, order me a new one or something like that. I just don't care for this character because he just shows the worst sides of Amanda and Daniel, and I just don't particularly enjoy that. In season 5, they tried to do something new with him, trying to make him an actual fighter, but in the end, nothing really works because I don't think he's ever going to be one of the more interesting characters. Now we have Chosen. I think this character is so fun. He's so enjoyable. As sort of Daniel's muscle throughout season 5, I think he's really enjoyable. Whereas Karate Kid Part 2, I thought he was... I can't just... I mean, he was just... I feel like he was just too evil of, like, a villain because, like... It seemed like all he wanted to do was revenge. It was just a little odd. But then they give him humility in this season, and I think in the end... that works for what they're trying to go for. And I think I just enjoy this character overall. I think he's pretty fun for the most part. He's funny. He makes a lot of jokes, and I think he's just designed to be just a fun character. And when he's toying around with all the other Sensei, with Daniel, with Johnny, with even Terry Silver, with the other kids, I think that's just fun. I think he brings a lot of life to the show. Now we have Stingray. I kind of want to put him in this tier, but I just think he's such a fun character that I kind of can't. But, like, the thing is that I feel like they kind of messed this character up because he was such a fun character in season 2. But then in in season 4 and 5, they brought him back in season 4, and then he's been a bit of an odd character throughout season 4 because he was used just to be kind of the guy that he tries to get back in Cobra Kai, but then Terry Silver assaults him. But then throughout season 5, he doesn't want to admit it because he doesn't want to lose his role in Cobra Kai. So it's just it works for the show, but just doesn't really work for the character. So I feel like they've just kind of messed this character up in the process. Now we have John Crease. This is a complicated one, but I'm going to put in the A because I have actually a lot of high hopes for this character in season 6. I bet he's gonna get a lot more interesting as he tries to sort of fight his past demons and do all of that. And, yeah, so, I mean, overall, I like this character. Martin Cobb is great in the role. I said this in my episode ranking, he just does such a great job. He's very maniacal. He's when he needs to be. But he's always been a bit of a two-dimensional character, and then when they try to do something like in season 3 with the Vietnam flashbacks, it just doesn't work. But I'm interested to see what they do with him. Maybe he'll shoot up the list. You never know. But for now... I think I'll keep him near the bottom of the A tier. Piper Elm Smith, or whatever her name is. I'm just going to put her in this tier because I feel like she was in season 2 as kind of the love interest with Moon for a little bit at the end of season 2. And then she doesn't show up again until season 4 as supposed to be the, I guess, what's it called? The new girl for Miyagi-Do. but then she joins Cobra Kai, which doesn't make much sense in the end. So I don't know and then she's not even in season 5, so it's like it feels like they just had nothing to do with this character. So that's why I'm just gonna put it there. Pain. I kind of want to put him in the B tier, but I think I'm just gonna, I'll just do it. But on the B tier. The thing is that, the problem with this character is that I feel like they were trying to make him something in season 4, which they did. They did a good job with that, as Robbie mentors this character, takes a kid on and sort of mentors him, and then with Cobra Kai, it takes him the wrong way, and then season 5 becomes a full on bully to Anthony Larusso. Now you can kind of say Anthony Larusso has become the victim, and Pain's been becoming one of the most powerful fighters in Cobra Kai. They full on choose him to be the representative of Cobra Kai in a sick guy tight guy little fight between Miyagi Fang and Cobra Kai. So I think they've tried to do a lot with this character, and I think what they do is good. But the issue is he's just too two-dimensional in season 5, and then they just don't. They try to do something, and but then they have this little bit at the end, but it just doesn't really go anywhere, to be honest. So I don't know. This character, I feel like they did a lot with him in season 4. They didn't exactly ruin him, but they didn't really make him better either. I thought they were gonna do a bit more with him, but not bad, I guess. Now we have the Mitch character. I kind of find this character fun because of how many jokes are kind of made out of him. I mean, he's never gonna be a great character or anything, but just because, and I think it's turned back to Cobra Kai kind of works as him being the traitor, because he never actually wanted to leave. But the problem is, what doesn't make sense is this as a third act twist in the middle at the finale doesn't exactly make sense, because the thing is that he had many chances to go back to Cobra Kai throughout season 5, but then he just doesn't. So, but he actually thinks he actually seems like he's being friends with Cobra Kai, and it just doesn't make much. So everything here just doesn't make much sense with the reveal. So you know what? I'm gonna move him down the D tier, but I still think he's a fun character. I don't know. I just kind of enjoy it. Mike Barnes. As much as I want to put him higher, as much as I like a lot of the stuff they did, they completely wasted him, because I love what they set up with him in season 3, episode 3 of Playing with Fire, and the thing is that here you have he sort of, I guess, he is now running a furniture factory, and then he decides to more or less, Mike Barnes. So the thing with Mike Barnes is that I don't think he's a bad character necessarily, but the thing is that they just wasted potential out of him, because I don't know what they were even trying to do with him in season 5. They introduced him in episode 3 as he's behind karate and running a furniture factory and making a pretty good profit out of it. And then Terry Silver burns the place down, and then that sets up a pretty cool idea where Mike Barnes could go on a revenge streak. But nope, that's not what happens. Then he shows him in the finale and then gets knocked out, and then has maybe 1 or 2 last moments. But I like what they do with these characters like Chosen and Barnes, Chosen especially, but where they kind of regret what they were doing in the Karate Kid movies, and Daniel's still kind of holding the grudge, but they realize they completely regret it, and I think all of that really works, but some things are just a bit odd. I'm not gonna lie. Now we have Miguel, going best of the best. I think what they've done with him in the last couple of seasons has just been a bit odd overall. But I think overall, I think he's still gonna be one of the great characters. But it just feels like they've been repeating a lot of arcs with him. Some things are a little bit more progressive than others, specifically in season 5. Some things aren't, but great character. I love what they do with him. Season 1, where he's a very kind of sweet kid who was getting bullied at school, but then asked Sensei Johnny to teach him karate. But then at the end of season 1 into season 2, he starts to become a bit of a bully. He never goes full on like characters like Hawk, but still being a bit of a bully. And then season 3, they sort of turn him back into the character that he was in season 1, a sweet guy. But then season 4, he's kind of, season 4, I don't love what they did with him, where he's kind of on the fence of everything, and he's just not the most fun character in season 4 overall. But then season 5, they kind of bring him back. They do a lot of stuff with him and Johnny, and the relationship between him, Johnny, and his mom, him, and Daniel Larusso and Daniel. So I think everything they do with him, I think works. He's kind of the center of all the relationships throughout the show, specifically in season 5, and I think that works. Johnny, obviously, I'm putting him in the best tier. I think what they done with this character, just since the first season, him being still stuck in his glory days in the 80s, and him never really learning about the internet, never really learning that a lot of things exist. So, and I think all of that is just so much fun because, and it's all believable. Some stuff is more believable than others, like him not knowing how to work a Dell computer doesn't exactly make as much sense, but like, I don't know, but I think what they've done with this character is just so fun and so funny, and it just works. I think that Johnny's reaction to how kids are cyberbullying, I think that was hilarious. And I just think what they've done with this character, with him learning sexism, is hilarious. So there's just so many great Johnny moments, and him thinking he can pull everything off is just hilarious. So really, I think he is the best character of the show. Tori, talk about an improved character. I don't know about an A tier. Talk about an improved character throughout the show. She was introduced in season 2, did not care for this character at all. She just seemed like too much of a bully. And then you never really know what she's going through throughout season 2. And then season 3, they try to make her a little bit better, but they just victimize her, which makes her even worse. Season 4, they actually give her an arc. Her and Amanda Larusso. Wait, Amanda Larusso's not in here. I just realized. She'd probably be in the B tier. So, yeah, overall, Tori, she's a much improved character. I love what they've done with her. Not really much to say because season 5 they sort of just turned her back into the Miyagi-Do. They didn't do that much with her in season 5, but I think what they did worked. Now we have Chris as sort of becoming a really good fighter. I think he, works. They haven't really done much with him. That's why I'm just putting in the D tier, but I think handled well. There's not much to say. Last but not least, Robbie Keane. I'm gonna put in the B tier because I've never really loved this character since the get-go. Season 1, I don't really like him. He's just kind of a messed up kid, and then he is getting trained by Larusso Daniel to do good things, and he ends up doing good things. But then throughout season 2, they kind of turn him into actually a good character. But then season 3, he goes off the rails, and I just don't care for it. But then season 4, they kind of bring him back a bit. I think they make him good again. And then season 5, I really like what they did with him. So that's kind of where I'm at with this character. I think he's a good character now. But the problem is he's just never been the most interesting of characters because he just doesn't feel like that many interesting emotions. So never going to be one of my favorites. Yeah, and then Amanda Larusso. This is actually a character I want to talk about. I didn't realize she wasn't on this one until now. I thought she was, but yeah. I put her in the B tier. So yeah, I think she's just so fun as the character. It's kind of calling out all of Daniel's crap. She's kind of the voice of reason in the show. Sam sort of is too, but Amanda is definitely in the earlier seasons realizing, instead of kind of going with Daniel, okay, you can do this, but she realizes how stupid some of this is, specifically with, I think she's definitely at her best in season 2 and 3, where she's just kind of calling out some of this stuff, but then being the mother that she needs to be whenever she's needed. That was quite the sentence. And her helping Tori kind of get through this based on her past experiences. I think that just works well. So yeah, really good character. But I put her in the B tier because she doesn't have quite her own arc. If I had to rank the bottom tier characters, I think they're 26, I guess. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 6, 9, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. 24, 25 if you include it. So 25, 24, 23 is going to be Barnes. 22 I think it's going to be Kyler. 21 is Stingray. 20 is Chris. 19 is Mitch, I guess. 18 is the weird sensei. 17 is Aisha. 16 is Carmen. 15 Bert. The C tier doesn't really need to exist because they're kind of the same, but whatever. I'll just keep it how it is. B tier, I think is gonna be Kenny Payne. After that is probably Amanda Larusso, then Robbie, then Dimitri, then Chosen. Then I think at the bottom of the A tier is gonna be Crease, Tori, Sam Hawk. I think that looks pretty good. Then Daniel, Terry Silver, and then Miguel, and then Johnny. I think this is my ranking. So 25 we have Piper Brownstead, 24 is Anthony Larusso, 23 is Mike Barnes, 22 is Kyler Park, 21 is Stingray, 20 is Chris, 19 is Mitch or Assface or whatever they call him, 18 is the Sensei, I don't remember her name, 17 is Aisha Robinson, 16 is Carmen Diaz. Can't take that seriously. 15 is Bert, 14 is Devin Lee, 13 is Kenny Payne, 12 is Robbie Keane, 11 is Dimitri Alexopoulos, 9 is Chosen Taguchi, 8 is John Crease, 7 is Tori Nichols, 6 is Samantha Larusso, 5 is Eli Moskowitz / Hawk, 4 is Daniel Larusso, 3 is Terry Silver, 2 is Miguel Diaz, and 1 Johnny Lawrence. That is my ranking of all main Cobra Kai characters. Yeah. Mandalor is also thrown in there, but yeah. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll put this tier list in the description below. Share your ranking of these characters. You can rank them, tell me your favorites, your least favorites. I want to hear it. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys until next time.